All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to a very special episode of Navigating the Modern World with Eli. Glad you could all join me here today. Yeah, it is Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. I'm not going to be on too terribly long, but I have a lot on my mind today. I went to bed early last night, got up early this morning, and I just felt the need to do this show. And, I talked this over with my lady last night. I wasn't going to mention her for quite some time, but I'm going to briefly mention her a little bit here on this show today because there's just a lot of stuff that I want to talk about regarding a bunch of things that have been transpiring through some of these YouTube communities. Don and I were both debating on whether we should make a statement or not, and we decided that it was the right thing to do. We really care about the people, and we hope that our message finds everyone well. But before we get to all of that, first of all, let me make sure everything's rolling smoothly. I see you in the chat there. By your repair guy, Raleigh. But let me do a sound check. Actually, let me make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out. It has, and the back end of YouTube is rolling smoothly. It's been a while since I've done a studio stream, so don't mind me. So let me just make sure the sound is good. Regarding a bunch of things that have been transpiring through some of these YouTube communities. Don and I were both debating. All right, it looks like all is rolling well. Okay. So let's just start off by reading the title. The title of this stream is Could Not Sleep. Well, could not sleep anymore. Have a lot on my mind and thinking about what's left for me on YouTube. One more time, could not sleep. Have a lot on my mind and thinking about what's left for me on YouTube. So yeah, I went to bed early last night. Dawn and I went to bed early. She actually goes to sleep before me. But when I have something on my mind, when my mind is racing and there's a lot going on, I just cannot, fully, turn myself in until I get things off my chest. So I'm sure many of you out there have been waiting for a response regarding some things that have been transpiring through a community I used to be involved with many years ago. It's a community that I parted ways with a long time ago, but that community likes making content on me constantly. And recently, the community that has, I'd probably say maybe, 3 or 4 or 4 or 5 main creators that constantly make content on me. The community has actually, reached some turmoil. And my experiences, and those of you that are new here are probably not going to know what I'm talking about, but the majority of my audience has been around for a while. You know the community I'm talking about, and it has affected you. It's affected myself, my girlfriend Dawn, many people throughout this community and many various other communities that this one particular community has inserted themselves in over the past several years have been affected by the way this community likes to create their content, which I like to call fake instigated drama, FID, fake instigated drama. I've learned to understand what they do and accept what they do, and I've learned to ignore it, and I've been ignoring it, and I'm not bothered by it. But some things have transpired lately to the point of where I can't even really tell if it's fake instigated drama or real. I think some of the things that have happened are real. There are a couple of female creators involved with a main male creator. I like to call him the millennial. I'm not going to mention names here because I'm not looking to give anyone notoriety, but the right people will know what I'm talking about. But the main creator I've known the main creator for 6+ years. And he's been creating content on me for many, many years. And then there are times where he likes to step away from creating content on me. So he dishes that off to other creators within his network. And recently, Buyer Repair Guy says, I was watching Horton News and see you were on. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for stopping by. Furthermore, Buyer Repair Guy Raleigh says, it's just sad they still act that way. Yeah, well, only reason why I'm discussing this is because, I just want to have my peace. And, I just want to put a few brief statements out there regarding myself and Don and how we're handling this. And hopefully try to encourage and inspire and motivate the people that are in turmoil to just let things go, let that shit go, and move on to bigger and better things for once, But apparently, there are a couple of female creators that I know very well. And I've gone back and forth with them many times in the past. I haven't in a while, and I'm not looking to go back and forth with them. I'm not looking to cause any issues. I'm more so just going to share some thoughts and hopefully, get through to them and other people that are involved in this to just let it all go and move on to bigger and better things. And to get them to understand how much this is affecting so many people throughout many various communities out here on YouTube, not just the main community they're all involved with through the millennial guy, but many other communities that they've, become a part of, and basically done the same thing in those communities. Their content has been the same wherever they've gone. And the way that they do things is the same. It's the fake instigated drama. It's intentionally trying to poke the bear and antagonizing people to get their reaction and then create content and spin things out of context. Make things up at times. Or, exaggerate things that may be partially true but not fully true. But what really just made me go, wow, and I'm not upset. I'm not upset one bit. What really made me go, wow, is when I guess apparently two of the female creators were rebroadcasting one of my streams at the same time. One was doing it unlisted, The other was doing it public, and it upset them. It also upset the main creator in the community, the millennial guy that used to be friends with both of them, but now he's just friends with one of them that he's always been friends with, because she's been his business partner. And the other woman has only been around for a couple of years. I had a run-in with her. I had one heck of an experience with her. And some things happened that really shouldn't have happened, but I'm over it. I've moved past it. I'm not upset at anyone, including her, anymore. I've let it all go, and I've moved forward to bigger and better things. But these people like to continue talking about me, and that's fine. Like, whatever, right? I'm over that. Not a big deal. But the surreal thing is, the millennial guy did a stream a few days back and basically got mad at one of the women, the one that's only been around for a couple of years. The other one that's been around for many years, I know very well. And the millennial guy I know very well. So the woman that's been around for many years, and the millennial guy, I've known them for 5, 6+ years. And they've been working together very closely for many years. The other woman came in, became friends with the millennial's business partner. And I was dealing with a court case with this new woman regarding, our businesses. I'm not going to get into too much detail. Most of you know what happened. Again, I'm not complaining about it. It's been settled. It's been done. We moved forward. I've taken all the necessary steps to, get my business completely 100% in order. And that's that. But the surreal thing is that, those two women are having problems now, right? And I'm going to say this, to the woman that's been around for a long time. We've been friends. And again, like I said in the past, the only reason why we had to part ways from our friendship is because you started working with a millennial guy who was coming at me, and that created a major conflict of interest. I think you know that. I wish you the best. And it was the right thing to do, and there was nothing negative intended with that, ever. But now, this woman is in, I guess, a fight with the new woman, the one that sued me and went to court last year. And the thing is, during the time while this was all happening, I mean, she was friends with this woman. And now, all of a sudden, you're not friends with her anymore. And you're criticizing her for, what happened back in those days regarding, that lawsuit, right? And I understand clocking in, clocking out. I get it. Fake instigated drama, whatever. I let it all go. And I'm not upset. I'm just putting it out there in clear layman's terms to try to get you all to understand, like, how this comes off to the public. Right? So, additionally, I guess the millennial guy was upset that the new woman has been doing unlisted streams, like I said. And initially, I guess she was streaming unlisted against, his female business partner. And apparently, I guess she was streaming unlisted against the millennial guy. And I heard the millennial guy say that, Eli is my content and I have the rights to Eli. No, you don't. None of you have the rights to my content. You have the right to, use small clips known as small excerpts under fair use. All of you have that same right. But you don't own me and you don't own my content. None of you do. And the fact that you're all fighting over this, honestly, I'm not going to do anything about it to any of you. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just putting it out there because I want you all to realize how dumb this sounds and how dumb it looks. And maybe that's part of the point, because you get everyone to tune in whenever this shit happens. It's a lather, rinse, repeat process. And it's been the same thing, not just, involving me, but many various other people. It's this constant cycle that's been happening year after year after year, right? So none of you own me or own my content, but you have the rights to critique my content under fair use. And for the most part, I've even let the three of you, the three main people involved, I've let the three of you just rebroadcast me every time. And I haven't filed one copyright on any of you. Okay? I did file copyright a couple times on the new woman, but then she made a posting saying, back to court we go. And I was going to retract it anyway. And I retracted it. And that was that. All I was trying to do is just get them to move on, get them to stop. But when I realized they weren't going to stop, I was cool with it, whatever, right? But the point is not to chastise them for rebroadcasting me or get upset. The point is how this whole thing has panned out and how it comes off. Fire Repair Guy says, the new woman was making more money than the millennial and his business partner put together. LOL, that's why they were mad. Of course, that's exactly the reason. But here's the thing. Okay? If we look at it, from the overall aspect of things, all of them are wrong in the way they're using my content and other people's content to make money. But I've learned to let it go, right? Whatever, fine. No big deal. All right? But the level of hypocrisy, now they're all fighting amongst each other. And they're all saying that, you came at me unprovoked. I don't come at you unprovoked. Whatever, right? So you're all saying that, all of this happened unprovoked, right? And then you're all saying that unless you're provoked, you all don't go at people. But that's not the truth, because with me, I haven't spoken about you folks in ages. I don't talk about you in my content. And you still rebroadcast me and poke the bear. So you come at me unprovoked all the time. But now you're mad at each other for this whole thing happening. And you're saying it's unprovoked, right? Do you see how that comes off? And I know all of you understand this. And I know all of you are going to respond to this and spin it in a way that's going to entertain your audience, make me look bad, and do what you got to do to make money. Because Millennial Guy, that's what you said on your stream. You're like, let's be real about this. Nobody does the Eli content just to do the Eli content, just to give them a piece of their mind. They do it to make money. Well, that's the first time I've heard you speak about it as clearly as you have. That's the first time I've heard you speak about it as clearly as you have. And I can respect and appreciate that, right? But I would respect it even more if you all just moved on and did something else, because, and again, if you don't stop, no big deal. I'm going to keep doing what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to be talking about this. This is a one and out. But like I said, I had a hard time sleeping well last night. And I wanted to get it off my chest so that way I can put it behind me and just move forward. Because any way you look at it, I know everybody in this group probably better than anyone else. I've known these people for the longest time, and I've experienced more with them than anyone else. Right? And like I've been saying lately, I don't wish any of them any harm at all. I don't wish any of you any harm at all. Right? And as a good human being that's made mistakes, I've made mistakes, and I've owned up to the mistakes. But as a good human being, I've asked you folks respectfully and maturely, because we're all grown-ass adults in our late 30s, 40s, and 50s, right? We're grown adults between the ages of like 39 and 55. And most of us are acting like little kids here. I've asked you folks maturely to just move on from the Eli content and do something more positive and productive, because this whole thing's been played out now. So it's time to move on. But they still keep going. And I don't know where they find the gusto or the gas to do it. By Repair Guy Raleigh says, I don't watch the Millennial because he's monotone, but I did enjoy that cat fight. Well, I did not enjoy anything. I skimmed through things. I don't have time to go through hours upon hours of streams, right? And I also have people that care about me behind the scenes that are giving me the Cliff Notes version of this, because again, I've got other things going on. I'm gonna share a little bit about, what Don and I are working on. Okay, it's involving her nutrition and the nutritionalist, and we've got some things that we're working on regarding her health and her doctor's appointments and stuff like that. And I'm focused on that. I don't have time for BS. My days have become more and more busy, right? And I'm doing whatever I can, along with my lady's doctors, to continue bettering her health. And she's getting healthier and stronger each and every day. And part of that has to do with the reason that she stepped away from YouTube for a while. We both decided that. So let me just share about that for a second here. Ever since Dawn stepped away from YouTube several weeks ago, right? She's been on a YouTube detox. And she is only connected with people behind the scenes that she trusts and I trust. Tia, Sandra, Queen Helen Casey, Donna, Lewis Fuller, a few others, right? And anyone else that's been creating issues and drama that was affecting her mental health and my mental health, they're all gone. And that's just the way it goes. Because right now, my top priority is my relationship and my family. And my aunt's also been recovering from surgery. So I've got way more important things than to be dealing with this stupid ass, fake fighting, real fighting, however you want to see it, right? Again, I'm not mad at any of you. I'm not mad at any of you, and I'm not trash talking any of you. Sorry, I'm not trash talking any of you. But I'm seeing this unfold, right? It's hard to not see it unfold, because I do my best to ignore things and people tell me things. And, then it's like, okay, I feel the need to say something because of my audience. And at the same time, believe it or not, I do care about everyone, including these people that have been trashing me or pretending to trash me for their content to make money, right? And some of them say they actually enjoy doing it. Fine. That's all good too. Whatever, right? The business partner was made to go out the new woman at the orders of the millennial guy because he controls that group. That could be it. I don't know. I quite frankly, Raleigh, buyer repair guy, I don't know. This could all be a fake fight to just incite donations, and they would have split it 3 ways. I don't know. I could care less. It doesn't matter. If that's what's happening, that's my opinion. I'm not stating that as a fact. That's my opinion. But I don't know. I don't know. It could be real. It could be real between the 2 women. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's not real, because here's the thing. I haven't been involved with that group in years. But, over the last few years, every now and then, I'll respond to something he says or does. And then people think, oh, I'm in cahoots with him and I'm getting paid and we're splitting money. No, I've never made a dime from him or that group at all. I'm not involved in any way, shape, or form, but I can understand why people would think that, because the way these people do things in that group, you cannot tell whether it's real or fake instigated drama. And maybe that's part of their shtick, right? So again, I'm not coming at anyone. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not taking any action against anyone. I'm just stating how dumb this whole thing is and how it comes off publicly, right? And I wanted to come out here and say that I am focused on other things. Don't get me wrong. I love doing this. I love helping people on YouTube. And despite the popular belief of that group, which is known as the hate group, they even admitted they're the Eli hate group, right? I'm actually helping some people, whether you think I'm helping them or not. See, you're entitled to your opinions just like I am. You think I'm not helping people? But all that matters is what I know I'm doing and what the people that I'm helping know I'm doing. That's all. And I just want to put this out there to you folks that are fighting publicly out here on YouTube, when there are way more important things in life to deal with for all of us. And the thing that really just, I'm not mad. I'm just saying the thing that really makes me go, is that they've come at my woman, they've come at me. But at the same time, they try to come off like they're very empathetic people. And when something happens to anyone in their group, like an illness or something like that, they're very supportive of them. But if you're not a part of their group, you can be going through something similar as people in their group are going through, but they'll still attack you for content at times. And that's one of the reasons why, Dawn stepped away, and we both decided that. I didn't force her to do it. And, she, talked to me about it. We talked about it before it happened. We talked about it like 2 mature grown adults. And believe it or not, if you've been watching my Walking with Purpose streams lately on the other channel, GNA2, Genuine Life Personal Development, this is the main channel that I'm streaming from the studio for a little bit now. Actually, these streams from the studio will go back to GNA2. in about a month or so. And this will be the pre-recorded channel again. But again, like I was saying, the mental sanity for both Dawn and myself since Dawn pulled away has been amazing. I've been a lot calmer. And I've never once argued my woman. It might have appeared that way because of a lot of the stuff that was happening on YouTube where people were saying things that were affecting her mental health. And I should have, encouraged her to pull away much sooner. And you know what? That's my fault. And I own that. Fire Repair Guy Raleigh says, we found out. Raleigh, I don't believe that to be true, man. I mean, if you want to joke around like that, I'm not gonna. I don't want these people coming at me because you're putting comments like that in the chat, Raleigh. I mean, come on, man. That's a little ridiculous. By the way, there's a 1 minute delay between what I say and what goes out. But hey, whatever. You're entitled to your opinion. It is what it is. But anyway. I've been a lot calmer lately. And Dawn's been a lot calmer. Because she's withdrawn from a situation that is too much for her to handle right now, regarding, her condition. So pulling her away was the best thing to do for her health. And now I'm focused, with Dawn, working with her nutritionalist. And we're hoping by the end of the year to have her, gain a sufficient amount of weight. She's already been gaining weight and heading in the right direction still. And it's a lot easier for her to eat more and to, head back in the right direction without having to deal with all this insanity on YouTube affecting her mental health and my mental health. So yeah, that's why I've been a lot calmer. I've also heard the other side's been saying I sound very low key and boring on my walks. I don't have the same enthusiasm. No, I still do. It's just I'm a lot calmer because I've taken action between my lady and I. We've both taken action to get to that level of peace. And we really hope that you folks can get to that level of peace too. I remove it, but it is factually, that's why she will not cam up. We know who she is. Well, I mean, look, Raleigh, I'll say the same thing I say to ODN. You guys are entitled to your opinions, but, I'm not here to judge at that level. I mean, I don't have any facts, and I wouldn't even care if that was the truth. I don't think it is. I'm not here to analyze things at that level. I'm here to make a few general statements, and that's that. I'm not looking to antagonize anyone or troll or anything, right? That's all, man. That's all. But, that's pretty much everything I had to say. Now, let me see here real quick. We are at 34 minutes. I'm only going to be on probably another 5 or 10 more minutes or so. So the last part of my topic, thinking about what's left for me on YouTube. I was thinking about that too. I've done a lot on YouTube. Yes, I've made some mistakes, but I have made a lot of content that's very helpful to people. And I'll tell you, when I was talking with Don, I guess last night, because it's 5 a.m. in the morning, 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. Pacific here on the West Coast. I was talking with Don, and I was like, what if I just went on hiatus along with you for the next 3 months? We still keep in touch with the good people behind the scenes. And then we both come back in January of 2025. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or not yet. I'm seriously considering it. More than likely, I will probably just scale down a little bit. But I haven't decided. I might just take the rest of the year off as well because, quite frankly, I just don't want any distractions from what Don and I need to do to get our health completely back on track by the end of the year, which is the goal of her doctors and her nutritionalist. I'm going to tell you folks, honestly, it's not about whether, I can or can't handle this bullshit. I don't have a problem. I can handle it. The thing is, it's very exhausting. It is extremely exhausting. And whether you ignore it or not, someone in your community is talking about it. Whether you block things, a new account pops up and it hits you in your feed. And then it rehashes it, right? And it's just really fucking annoying. It is. It's really fucking annoying. It's become really annoying. Right? And I'm not triggered by it or anything like that. I'm just saying, it is just so annoying. Let me see. Buyer Repair Guy says, I agree. If you could starve them of content, they would just keep turning inward. It doesn't matter what I do. Raleigh, here's the thing. And everyone else. I'm not going to live my life and work my channel around what these people do or don't do. I'm not. I've never been like that. It doesn't matter what I do or don't do, whether I say something or not. It doesn't matter. That's not going to change the situation with them. Some people, no matter how professional and mature you approach them, they're not going to handle it the mature way because that affects their business model, right? If you want to call it a business model, it affects their business model, right? You have a few choices. You can scale back for a little while. You can, walk away for a little while. Okay. You can continue to ignore it. There are many things you can do. That's up to them to decide. They have to decide what the right thing is for them, right? But why not, after all this time, all of you, just stop the facade. Stop the charade. You're all far more capable of creating better content and being nicer to each other. Hey, Joe Dirt, how are you doing? 1 minute delay between what I say and what goes out. You're all far more capable of doing the right thing, okay? And I'm not trying to say you're doing the wrong thing. in what you're doing. I certainly don't enjoy what you folks do. I never have. Okay. How am I doing? I'm doing all right, dude. Yeah, I'm doing all right. It's all good. It's all good. Got a lot on my plate. But it's all been very productive. Good morning, Joe. Says by a repair guy. I guess the thing that really inspired me to do this stream was the fact that I've been focusing my energy in the wrong direction. I personally, and I'll admit this, personally, I feel tremendously guilty that I didn't have the conversation with my lady Dawn many months ago. And, we should have discussed many months ago of pulling her away sooner, because her recovery would have been much further now, or it would have been probably done. And she would have been able to come back, and it's all good. So I take ownership of that. And I just feel tremendously guilty that I didn't even realize this sooner. Because all my lady and I have ever wanted to do is help people. That's it. That's all. And seeing all this bullshit happen when I've got something more important and more serious to deal with regarding the person I love, I'm like, fuck this. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it when you have more important things to deal with in your real life. And even to those of you out there that are creating this content, or you're not infighting, right? You folks have been through things, or you will go through things. And when you go through those things, you're going to hope that people have empathy towards you. You're going to be seeking comfort from the people in the future. And if you continue going down the path that you're going, who's going to want to support you and be there for you when you really need people to be there for you if you continue creating the type of content you're creating, or fighting online the way you're fighting? I mean, it's just, come on, Come on. They create petty drama donations. That's what it all boils down to. That's the bottom line. But at what expense, Joe Dirt? At what expense, right? Before I go off the air, I know there are many people that are a part of that group, and I know they've lost some people. They've gone through some things. I get it, right? But to the three main people involved that are also in this, whatever you want to call it, a disagreement, let's just call it that, okay? The new woman is getting more donations than the millennial guy, and that's what this whole thing is about. But here's the thing. Here's the truth of the matter. And again, I'm only saying this because this is what happened. I'm not trying to go after any one of them. I think all three of them could create far better content. They're more than capable of doing that. But here's the thing. you got to understand that this new woman, despite the fact that she's come at myself, she's come at my girlfriend, Dawn, she went after my business. I'm over that, man. I'm over it. But the truth of the matter is that these people weaponized you to create content on me. The thing is, the surreal thing is this, is that the millennial guy and his business partner, okay, when this new woman came in and they saw her capabilities of doing reactions and being a hard hitter, right? They brought her on board, and she basically gave new life to the Eli content thing, right? So here's the thing. In essence, initially, you guys brought her on and you weaponized her. It's the truth of the matter. Like, I'm not trying to be, listen, I'm not fond of what all three of you do on YouTube for your content. I don't hate any of you, and I'm not coming at any of you. But understand that you weaponize people. And you guys weaponize this woman. And now she's figuring it out. And the one thing I'll say is this. You got to be fair. No matter how someone treats you, like this new woman's treated myself, I'm still going to be fair and say, every time I used to call her out that she's a part of your group, she would say she's independent. She's always said she's an independent creator. She's always said that. She said she's not a part of the Millennial Guys group. She's always said that. No matter what I think of her, the truth is the truth. Yeah, we know she's gone real life. But I think all of them are doing away with the real life stuff. I think right now what it boils down to is making money. And the truth of the matter is the majority of their audience, whatever's left of it right now, they're Coach Eli haters. So that's what the audience wants. And it's a limited audience to the point of where only one of them can be rebroadcasting at a time for it to be feasible and to make money. When you have two or three of them going at once, you're pulling everyone in different directions. They've said it. I've been saying this for years. Like, you guys are limiting yourself to this one Eli audience. You're fighting over. Here's the thing. The surreal thing is you're fighting over me, which I should be honored and feel envy. I should feel honored that you folks are fighting over me. But I don't feel that way because I think the whole thing is stupid. The whole thing is stupid. Okay? Now, you got my reaction. Do what you're going to do with it. The new woman will probably do a stream on this. The business partner of the millennial will probably do a stream on this. The millennial will probably do a stream on this. Or what will happen is the millennial will say, I'm doing this stream. This is big time. I'm doing this. The rest of you can't have this. Well, if here's the thing, dude. If all three of you want to do a stream on me at the same time, you all have the right to do that under fair use. I mean, using small clips. Now, you're going to do the whole thing, and I'm just going to let it go. But what I'm saying is, like none of you own me or my content. That doesn't mean, and that doesn't mean, dude, you have exclusive rights to my content. You cannot take exclusive rights to content that you don't own. I own my content. You own your content. Well, you kind of own your content because most of your content is using other people's content. My content is 100% original. Now, I'll do some fair use stuff every now and then, like some Reddit postings and stuff, but I do a lot of commentary. And I don't do that all the time. All I can do is hope and pray that you folks do the right thing. Again, I don't care if all three of you, I don't care if all three of you talk about me, the two women and the man. I don't care if you get that Bill guy, BH, to also get involved. I don't care if you get the haters guy that's back, Mr. Hater guy. You're talking about me again. I should feel envious. You're all talking about me and you're fighting over me. I'm not upset. I'm like, wow, what did I do to deserve this kind of respect? It's actually pretty respectful that you're fighting over me. I don't like the fact that you're fighting, period. But the fact that you're all fighting over me, and if you're going to say we're not fighting over you, we're fighting over your content, that is me. I am my content, so you're fighting over me. Right? That's pretty sad, in my opinion. But, wow, okay. They're fighting over you, dude. It's kind of fun. That's why I wanted to talk about it, because it's like, oh, man. And, you know, Dawn's like, I'm just so glad I'm away from this garbage for right now. It's like, yeah, babe, you know. It sucks when they involve your girlfriend. Yeah, that's why, you know, Dawn, I wasn't going to talk about Dawn. I'm not talking about Dawn at the end of the year. I mean, I've mentioned her a few times on my stream earlier today, and I had to mention her on this show here because I wanted to just catch everyone up and let everyone know, you know, what's going on, and that she's doing a lot better because she's away from all this bullshit drama, and it's done wonders to her mental health. And all of you that are fighting, do you realize how much this fighting affects your mental health and your sanity? Why would you want to do that to yourselves? And again, if this was just one big facade to get me to respond, I don't care, because I can go back to ignoring it. I can respond when I want to respond, and when I want to do my other content, I'll do my other content. You're going to do what you're going to do. You're going to say what you've always said, right? You're not going to change the way you are. I hope one day you folks move past all this, but I just don't think you folks are going to change the way you are. It may take something very major for you folks to change the way you are. Maybe this situation might be that major thing. I hope all of you move past all this and even move past me. And, you know, if you have to part ways with some people, so be it. But part ways amicably. And don't make content off of it. You don't have to make content out of every little step someone takes, every breath someone, you know, takes as well. Every little thing that certain people do for these creators becomes content. For me, I could be just walking down the street. It's content. I could be breathing air. It's content. I have never seen such a surreal thing ever. And again, all boils down to the majority of the audience that's always stuck around when everyone else leaves or most others leave is the Coach Eli hate audience. And now you got 3 people fighting over that audience. Where before they had more people. They've also lost a lot of people because it's the same old thing. Give these people a reason to keep coming back. You're all much better than this. The new woman should stream you every time to stop their donations. Raleigh, I don't, respectfully speaking, Raleigh, I don't think that's the right thing to do. I understand your frustration. I think your frustration is with the millennial guy. I'm over it. I'm not frustrated at the millennial guy. Do I like what he does for content? No. Do I like what any of them do for content? No. But I'm over it. And look, I don't want to get in the way of any of them making money however they want to do it. I just wish they would finally move past certain things that have been drilled into the ground many times. It's gotten so old. That's why people are leaving. It's gotten so old and repetitive and stupid, right? You know, the things that are continued to be made up, you know, certain things. I never did certain things these people said, and they know it. And here's the funny thing. Some of the things that they continue to say I did, when I asked them a year or 2 ago, they said, "Oh, it's just fake instigated drama. That wasn't a real thing. That was just being said for content." But now it's back to saying that's something that I did when I never did it, right? I'm not going to get into detail because I don't need to. I don't feel I need to. I'm just saying, just think about what you folks have done to me to keep the content going and keep feeding the Coach Eli haters. And if anyone, let alone myself, I would never do those things to you. But if anyone did 1/10 of what you folks have done to me, or have made up shit 1/10 of what you guys have done to me, you'd be all over them, right? But it's okay when it's done to me because that's your audience that pays you your donations. That's come on. And here I am being whatever, right? I'm just stating the facts as they are. So that's all. That's all. I'm going to finish this up and I'm going to go back to bed and spend some more time with my lady. Do the right thing. I don't think you folks are going to do the right thing. I hope you do. Okay. I've got things to take care of behind the scenes with my family, my aunt, my girlfriend. And again, I'm not going to be talking about my family or Dawn or her family. I'm not going to be talking about them because I just want to create my own content. And then, when Dawn comes back, later on this year, towards the end of December or early on in 2025, then we're going to come back like a rocket. It's going to be amazing. And I look forward to that. I really hope you all do the right thing. This has gone on for a long time. We're all grown-ass adults. You don't have to like me. I honestly don't hate any of you. I don't hate anybody. Okay? I'm an empath. I've made mistakes. I've said some nasty things because I was pushed to my limit out here years ago. And I regret what I said. And I'll come back and apologize again. But you folks are the kind of people that will keep rehashing that stuff because That's your content. And you said it yourself, millennial guy, it's about the money. Fine, let it be about the money. Make all the money that you want off my name. But realize that you keep going down the same route, even if I'm cool with it, which I said I am, whatever, right? Your people are going to get bored. Even the Coach Eli haters will get bored eventually, and they're going to leave. Then what are you going to have left? I'm just trying to encourage you guys to do the right thing. That's all. I have a lot of resentment towards him, says Raleigh. By your repair guy, that millennial guy broke my heart after we had that thing in Florida together. He used me and cast me aside. Oh, man. Well, you're going to throw in a joke every now and then. I get it, man. I think you have a lot of resentment towards him because you probably tried to work with him in the past and it fell apart, right? The other stuff, I mean, none of that stuff is true, man. None of that stuff is true. A lot of people have made up a lot of stuff about him out of frustration. But he makes up stuff about myself and other people. It is what it is. Yeah, you don't have to be a fan. I'm not necessarily a fan of his, but I just don't hate anyone in general. I don't. All right, folks. We are at 1 hour and 1 minute. I got to get going. Do the right thing, folks, please. I will be back for a walk later today on the other channel, GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. Link is below in the description. And that is that. With that being said, have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other.